Long ago in a village in India, there lived a beautiful green parrot named Hira. She had bright feathers that shined like emeralds in the sunlight. Hira lived in a big banyan tree near a small river. She was happy and free, flying from branch to branch, singing sweet songs every morning. Hira had many friends in the forest. There were other birds, squirrels, and even a wise old tortoise who lived by the river. But Hira had one big problem. She was afraid of everything. She was scared of strong winds, afraid of storms, and worried about hawks flying above. Whenever something difficult came her way, Hira would hide in her nest and wait for the problem to go away. One day, a terrible storm came to the village. The sky turned dark gray, and heavy rain began to fall. The wind blew so hard that it shook all the trees in the forest. Hira quickly flew to her nest and hid inside, shaking with fear. "Please go away, storm! Please go away!" she cried, covering her head with her wings. The storm lasted for 3 days. When it finally stopped, Hira came out of her nest. She looked around and saw something terrible. The storm had broken many branches of her beloved banyan tree. Worse than that, it had blocked the river with fallen trees and rocks. The water could not flow properly anymore. All the animals in the forest gathered near the river. They looked sad and worried. "What will we do?" asked a small rabbit. "We need the river for drinking water. The water is getting dirty because it cannot flow," said a deer. The wise old tortoise slowly walked toward them. "We must remove the fallen trees and rocks from the river," he said. "But it will be very hard work. We must all help together." All the animals agreed to help. The deer, rabbits, squirrels, and even the small mice began working. They pushed rocks, pulled branches, and carried mud away from the river. Everyone worked hard under the hot sun. But Hira just sat on a high branch and watched. She was afraid to help. "What if I hurt myself?" she thought. "What if a branch falls on me? What if I am not strong enough? It is better if I just stay here where it is safe." Days passed. The animals worked very hard, but the job was big. They were getting tired. The tortoise looked up and saw Hira sitting alone on her branch. "Hira," called the tortoise, "why are you not helping us? We need everyone to work together." Hira felt embarrassed. "I am just a small parrot," she said. "I am not strong like the deer. I am not clever like the squirrels. What can I do? I might fail. I might get hurt." The wise tortoise smiled gently. "Come down here, my dear friend. I want to tell you something important." Hira slowly flew down and sat near the tortoise. "Do you see that big rock in the river?" asked the tortoise, pointing with his old foot. "Yes," said Hira. "Do you think I am strong enough to move it?" asked the tortoise. "No. You are too small," said Hira. "That is right," said the tortoise. "But watch what happens when I try." The old tortoise slowly walked into the shallow water. He pushed his shell against the big rock. He pushed and pushed. The rock did not move, but the tortoise kept pushing. Slowly, very slowly, tiny bits of mud under the rock began to wash away. "You see," said the tortoise, breathing hard, "I cannot move the rock by myself. But I can do something. Every little bit helps. When the deer comes, the rock will be a little easier to move because I tried first." Hira thought about this. "What if I fail?" she asked quietly. The tortoise looked at her with kind eyes. "Failing is not the problem, Hira. Not trying is the problem. When we face our difficulties, we grow stronger. When we run away from them, we stay weak and afraid forever." "But I am so scared," said Hira, her voice shaking. "Being scared is normal," said the tortoise. "Even I feel scared sometimes. But brave animals are not those who feel no fear. Brave animals are those who feel fear, but still do what needs to be done." The tortoise continued. "Every obstacle in life is like this rock in the river. We can look at it and feel afraid, or we can face it and do our best. Even if we cannot solve the whole problem alone, we can do our small part. And when everyone does their small part, big problems get solved. Hira listened carefully to the tortoise's words. She looked at all the other animals working so hard. She looked at the small mouse, carrying tiny pebbles in his mouth. She looked at the rabbit digging with her small paws. If they could try, why couldn't she? Hira took a deep breath. You are right, wise tortoise. I will help. I may be afraid, but I will try. The tortoise smiled. That is the spirit. My friend. Hira flew to the river. She used her strong beak to pick up small sticks and carry them away. She used her claws to scratch away mud. She worked next to the other animals. Yes, she was tired. Yes, sometimes she felt afraid. But she kept working. Something amazing happened inside Hira's heart. As she worked, her fear became smaller. As she helped her friends, she felt stronger. She was facing her difficulty instead of hiding from it, and it felt good. After many more days of hard work, the river was finally clear. The water began to flow freely again. It sparkled clean and beautiful in the sunshine. All the animals cheered and celebrated. We did it! Everyone shouted happily. That night, Hira sat on her branch feeling different than before. She was tired, but she was proud. She had faced her fear. She had not run away from the obstacle. She had helped solve a big problem, even though she was just a small parrot. The wise tortoise looked up at her and said, Hira, you learned the most important lesson in life today. Obstacles come to everyone. Difficulties will always appear on our path. But these obstacles are not our enemies. They are our teachers. They teach us how strong we really are. They help us grow. From that day on, Hira was a different parrot. She was still careful, but she was no longer ruled by fear. Whenever a problem came, she remembered the lesson of the river. She remembered that facing difficulties makes us stronger, and running from them keeps us weak. And Hira lived happily, knowing that she had the courage inside her heart to face whatever life would bring. The moral of this story: the obstacles in our life are not meant to stop us. They are meant to make us stronger and wiser. When we face our difficulties with courage, we discover strengths we never knew we had.